Hello everyone! Today I will present materials related to English business. But before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Ni Putu Eni Ardianti from English Language Education. Today I will deliver two materials that are the first, working from a home office, and the second material is how to write impressive business letter. Nowadays, working from home is a trend for several reasons. Working from home described as a work being done remotely instead at an office. All office activities, including operating, investing, and financing activities, are done in the house. Especially among business people, work from home is considered more economical. In business, of course, we will really pay attention to the aspect of loss and profit. And it is also closely related to the cost incurred to buy office furniture and stationery. With doing from home, this cost can be eliminated so that it will be more economical. Moreover, in a pandemic situation like this, work from home is considered the best solution to keep business running due to limited interaction. Work from home will be very suitable for entrepreneurs who enjoy working autonomously. Here are some tips to make work from home office work for you. The first tips is control economical things. Take control of your business decision to buy goods. Don't buy the things that don't really matter. Take advantage of what is already there and keep your overhead low. And the second tips is make a logo. Even though the business that we open is from home, doesn't mean that we forget to make a logo for our business. Make sure that the logo is thoughtful so that our business looks professional. And to make a logo, we can take advantage to graphic designers to make the logo. The third tips is specify the telephone for business. The work where we work is not only occupied by you. There are other family members in the house. Therefore, it is necessary to use a special telephone just only for business purpose. It is intended to make that the business affairs and family affairs do not overlap. And the fourth tips is provide a website. The main way to promote a business when working from home is to use a website. You can design your own web or have a web designer. All the things to do through internet like e-commerce and web marketing. And then the fifth tips is about prevent the distraction. As I said before, that doing business from home where other family members also live in, we need to prevent the distraction. For example, the distraction comes from the children because they could spill something on our PC or in our document, and maybe it is dangerous for the child because there are many electronic things. The distraction can also come from our neighbors. You must make it clear to everyone that there are certain times when, even though you are at home and you are unavailable. And the next tips is about take something refreshing. To avoid bored, we can refresh ourselves by watching TV. However, avoid being tempted too much to watch daytime show. The seventh tips is don't neglect your social life. Socializing is particularly important as you need to interact to maintain contact with current clients and the new ones. Not only interact with people, but you must be aware with what is happening by reading newspaper or magazine. The next tips is make your place comfortable. Work from home will make us sit down in front of the laptop for a long time. Therefore, make a comfortable seat is necessary. not only a place to sit but make the atmosphere around the workplace also comfortable. For example, by adding favorite plants or flowers and adjust the room lighting. And then the ninth tips is about prepare mental and physique. Prepare your mental and physique before walking in the morning. Get up early and do some stretch before starting the activity. And the next tips is about keep our self-motivation. Keep your motivation to work hard and prove that working or doing business from home can be successful. This also eliminates the notion that working from home is not professional as working in an office. And then the next tips is set the goal which are achievable and measurable. It is easy to feel like a failure if you don't meet your targets for certain accomplishment or achievement. It is because you push yourself too much and overestimate your capabilities. Set the goals which are achievable for you. And then the last tips is about allocate time to sharpen your business skill. It's about allocate the time to explore business knowledge such as system management and database management. Or you can take or undertake some educational course that may give benefit for your work. Now we will jump to the second materials. It is about how to write impressive business letter. There are 3 subtopics about this. The first is before you begin to write, and the second subtopic is the part of a letter, and then the last subtopic is about what makes good writing good. Before you start writing any kind of letter, first you must ask this question to yourself. The first is, who am I writing to? If you close to the person, you can write it informally or formal if you don't. And the second is, what should I include in this letter? Whether it is statistics, evidence, or advice. And then the third question is, where should I put my material? Should it be chronological order, build up the climax, or summarize with the most important point first? And the fourth question is, when should I use the example? Examples used to strengthen your argument. How many you use, when, and where you use it is very important in communication. And then the fifth question is, why am I writing the letter? Is the letter for complaint, for congratulation, for request, or for thanks? And then the last question is, how can I make what I say sound better? Reread your letter before sending it. Make sure that the diction that you use is sound right. Edit the sentence if it is ambiguous. Change with the sentence that state clear meaning. Okay, now I will explain to you the second subtopics. It is about the parts of a letter. So a letter has some parts, namely company letterhead, deadline, personal title, contact information, introduction, body, conclusion, complimentary clause, and the last is signature. Okay, now I will explain each part of the letter along with the examples of letter. And here is the example of business letter. Okay, now I will start with the first part of a letter. The first part is company letterhead. In this part contains information like the name of the company, address, contact, and the website of the company. And the second part is deadline. Here contains information about the date, month, and year. The date and the year must be numerical. Meanwhile, the month name must be spelled out. For the example, you can see on the slide, the date and the year is right numerical. 25th for the date and 2020 for the year. Meanwhile, the month names is write down directly, that is September. And then the third part is personal title. Use Mr. for male and use Miss for female. For the examples, like in the slide, is Mr. John. And the fourth part is contact information. It contains information about the receiver of the letter. Okay, the next part of a letter is the introduction. It contains greeting. Then in introduction of your letter should clearly state the purpose of your letter. Okay, and then the next part is the body. The body of your letter is where you should tell your story. To write the body of letter, break up the body of the letter with the introduction, so it can be easier to read. Begin the paragraph with the strong topic sentence, and it will gain the reader's attention and state what that paragraph is about. So, the next part is the conclusion. The conclusion of your letter should sum up and end on positive note. And also, usually it contains the expression of thanks. Okay, I will explain the next part of the letter. The next part is complimentary clause. The most commonly used clause for a business letter is yours sincerely or just sincerely. However, if you know the client well, even a friend, you may use the kind of regards or cheers. And then the next part is signature. It is common but careless error to forget to sign a letter before you send it. It means that you don't pay attention on details. If you send email, you can scan your signature and insert it into the computer. Give your name and your position title underneath your signature. And that's all the part of the letter. Okay, now I will explain to you the last subtopics about the materials, how to write impressive business letter. The last subtopics is about what makes good writing good. To make a good writing, there are several features that the writer focuses on. The first is purpose, unity, sequence, variety, and relevance. Okay, the first is the purpose. Before you write, you must know why you are writing. So, ask yourself, who will be reading the material? Someone you know or someone you don't know? And then, what type of person will be reading it? You must be consider their age, their education, their position, and their gender. And then, how many people will be reading it? Is it for public consumption or just individual? And then, will they have specific knowledge to enable them to understand? We also must be considered whether the receiver of the letter will understand our intention or not. And then the last is, why am I writing this? To explain, to inform, to persuade, to convince, or to complete. Before writing something, you must know the answer for all those questions so you can decide your writing style to suit the purpose. Okay, the next is unity. Begin every paragraph with a topic sentence and then develop your argument for the rest of the sentence. And to develop your topic sentence, here are 4 ways that you can use. The first is by using examples, and then by add a detailed illustration, and by an explanation, and the last is by making a comparison. And then the next is, you must pay attention to the sequence. Each of your points, and therefore each of your paragraph, must be flow to the next. Make a planning or outline what will be explained in the first paragraph, in the second paragraph, third paragraph, and so on. And before you write a text, you must make the planning very well. And then the next part is variety. In variety, you must be pay attention and make sure that what you are writing is interesting to read. You can do variation when begins your sentence, and you can also varying the sentence length and expanding your vocabulary. Use thesaurus to find exactly the word that you need to make your point stand out. And then the last point that makes a good writing is relevance. We often begin our writing with clear purpose at the beginning in our mind, but then become sidetracked and end up with writing 1,000 words more than that we ought to. Unfortunately, not all the sentence in our writings is relevant. So that we must consider which one is relevant with our topic and dispose the irrelevant point. As I said before, making an outline is very important to make you write. Keep on the track. Don't be afraid of writing too much because readers need to know your argument. People will still read your writing if it is longer than they expected, but if only it is relevant. Okay, that's all about my English business presentation about a work from a home office and how to write impressive business letter. So thank you for your attention and goodbye.